Alfie is a WOR race winner.
Jensen makes it 5 in a row.
Danny Berejnay wins on debut.
Shanaka returns to winning ways in WOR.
Season 12 sees a new man. It's Shadow. He is your Xbox champion.
And Jensen is the new king of PlayStation.
From the back row of the grid, against all odds, Nicholas Longy wins the title.
Goes past the safety car.
What has gone on here?
Bourbon spins.
Stunning move from the Spaniard.
He's taken out Rambo. Here comes Longy. We're going 4 wide down to turn 1.
Oh, he's taking him out.
The captain riders complete.
Tomek to the inside.
Shadow wins the Brazil. Absolutely sensational.
Hello and good evening everybody. Welcome back to WOR tier number 3, season 13, and we are round 11 here at the notorious, the classic Japanese Grand Prix. My name is Ollie and I will be talking you through this Japanese Grand Prix. Hopefully you don't get bored of me this evening. Unfortunately it's just me again. I know. Steve couldn't be here. I think Steve's doing tier 2 and there's a few other guys unfortunately ill or unavailable, so it is just me this evening. But we've got a stacked 20-man grid for this evening's race, and it's a quick look at the where are we, the calendar, if I can bring that up quickly before we get going. Like I mentioned, round number 12 here at Japan. We've only got 4 races left of the season: Mexico, Brazil and Saudi Arabia, but of course Japan here tonight for round number 12 here in WOR tier number 3. Title still all to play for, with 4 races left of this championship, and they're all feature races. No sprint races left. We've done all of those this season. We had 1 at Bahrain, 1 in Belgium and 1 at Abu Dhabi, and we have some fantastic racing in all 3 of those countries this season. So 4 races to go. I'm sure plenty more action. The title's still very much alive and well here in tier number 3. We've already got a retirement. It looks like on screen. I think you saw in the background there as I have the calendar up. I think it's like Trolley, unfortunately out already, down to 1 McLaren. Which will be only Game Man Steph here, and that caused Flo, who we're on board with, to invalidate their lap as well. But tonight we have Abe, Amazed, Joe Murphy, Phoenix, Kirby, Flo, Hainan. Well, we did have Charlie, but unfortunately he'll have to start from the back of the grid. Harv, Passy, Jacob, Ali Ferrari, Game Man Steph, Tom, JT, Ray, Itzfan, Epic, Aiden and QuickDead all racing this evening here in Japan. So hopefully it'll be a super duper evening. Looking forward to it. Yeah, if you've got any predictions in the chat or just want to say hello, put it in there. I appreciate any chat that we have tonight, because I'm on my own unfortunately this evening. I've not got a co-com, but we should get some laps from a few guys. Let's see if we can get on board with someone who's on a timed lap. He's invalidated. Let's go with Joe Murphy, coming around Spoon, iconic corner. You can overtake on the entry to Spoon, but it's difficult to pull that move off with the way the camber of the circuit goes. But down towards 130R, where we saw Michael Schumacher and Alonso go side by side many years ago. That's almost, almost 16, 18 years ago. But Harv, first lap of the race, 29 flat here in qualifying, but again, early doors, and Joe Murphy goes 3 tenths slower than that with a 29.384. But again, all bank laps, and he was actually quickest in that last sector as Ray has had a collision with Aiden. So what's happened there? Ray's down in 16. So something's happened on the entry to Spoon, and that's caused him a 5-second grid penalty. That's not ideal for the Haasman. There we go, Aiden. He did, even with the contact, he's managed to go pole with that 28.8. But while we're waiting, let's have a quick look at the standings here at as we go into the Japanese Grand Prix. Let's have a quick look. There we go. So Passy still holds the lead with 179 points. Harv close on his heels. Back-to-back wins in Abu Dhabi and Singapore have closed that gap down, and now it's only 18 points, splitting first and second. Aiden a little bit further back with 49 points. Back by 49 points with 130. You've got Amazed, Tom, Latifi, JT, Hainan, Blackie, and Raven rounding up the top 10. And unfortunately, Blackie and Raven not racing recently. I don't think we've got either racing tonight either. So yeah, still all to play for with the title. It might be too much of an ask for Tom and Amaze, but it'd be great to see them up there fighting for the title. but it could be a 2-horse race if Aiden and Mason Tom don't pull their finger out tonight. With only, like I said, only 4 races left of the season here in WOR. Right then, I think we can concentrate on qualifying now, can't we? Let's close the standings down and you can see the full screen. Hopefully the audio is okay and you can hear everything that's happening. It looks like the desktop audio is coming through, so I'm hoping you can hear. Let me know in the YouTube on YouTube comments on the stream if any problems. Let me know, and hopefully I can pick them up at one point. But let's get on board with some drivers, eh? Let's get on board with someone who is flying around this Japanese circuit. Kirby's slow, so we won't go with him. What about Hainan? He's slow as well. Abe? Whereas he's invalidated the lap, so we'll try and find someone. Phoenix! Oh, another invalidation. Come on, guys. Who's the lap? Steph is on ending his lap, but it looks to be a timed lap from Game Man Steph. A man I do know well, racing side by side and commenting over him in various other leagues. And he only goes 10th with a 30.3 for the sole McLaren in this qualifying session. 10 minutes 11 to go. Aiden on pole with Harvin second and Passy P3. Passy got a little bit of work to do to catch up with first and second here. 29.36, which puts him out a little bit there. You know, he's fighting away with Joe Murphy and Kirby, all within 26 hundredths of each other there. So Passy got a little bit more work to do to see if he can catch up. But as everyone seems to be on a lap of some sort, and my controller seems to be playing up. There we go. I managed to finally flick to a driver. Abe seems to be on a set of hard tyres, so maybe that is just a bank lap. He wants to get those slower lap in early doors. I'm not really sure why, because you can get I'm sure you have multiple sets of softs, but he's actually quickest in the middle sector, so those hards, unless there's a glitch, those hards are doing the job for Abe here. Let's see if he comes round the final corner. He's slower coming out here, and he's 1.3 seconds quicker though. Yeah, interesting strategy from the other Mercedes. His teammate, obviously Joe Murphy, up in 4th place, but Harv, a man who will keep a key eye on the man closing that gap down to Passy with the lead of the championship, but slow, obviously out a lap with him, but we'll stay on board with him. Here we go, with the Red Bull driver as he starts his second flying lap here at Japan. Fantastic sector 1. It's one of my favourite parts of any circuit. Round downhill, slight downhill right-hander into the first corner, and you come up to the S section, multiple left right before you get to I was going to say Sega, but that is not the name of the corner. I should know this off by heart by now, but he comes through, where we go, the Dunlop curve, there we go. And close, yeah, sort of close, but through Degner 1 and Degner 2 he goes before he gets to turn 11, the hairpin, which is a great overtaking opportunity if you can pounce on the driver ahead, especially on the start, and maybe a restart under the safety car here at Japan. But round towards Spoon he goes, 12 and 13 into a heavy braking area, but don't want to run too wide there. Just about keeps the car within the 2 white lines. He comes down onto the back straight here, down towards 130 yard, turn 15. Car's getting out of his way. Used a little bit of slipstream there from the Aston Martin. I think that could have been Kirby or maybe JT, probably JT down then, but into finally the Casio Triangle, 16, 17, 18. Luckily Harv doesn't turn in early like Latifi did, and there's a car squirreling ahead of him, and that is an AlphaTauri. Luckily is getting out the way. It's an improvement by Harv, but not quick enough to displace Aiden. Gets into the 128, but again not close enough to challenge our race or our qualifying leader at this moment in time. Aiden still in the pits at this moment in time. Flo jumps up as well into 3rd, and Passy, actually let's stay on board with our championship leader coming into Spoon for his second, flying up the other AlphaTauri. I think it was Hainan who was making a mistake coming around the final corner, maybe a squiggle of oversteer coming through that corner that cost him that, and that will cost him a lap as well, because obviously you lose all that momentum coming down the pit straight. But through the 2-1 he goes into the Cathode Triangle, bringing as late as you can. Of course, this is where Prost and Senna came together back in the early 90s, I think, or late 80s, one of the two. But Passy comes across the line, he's 4 tenths quicker, but is not enough to take Harv or Aiden. 28.95, which is 35 hundredths slower than Harv, and I wonder if we go one more lap on those tyres. We'll have to wait and see there. Just on making sure everything is okay. If you guys are in the chat, let me know if everything's, hopefully the order's coming through okay, and you can see everything, all the pictures and all that jazz. So we had a few issues last week after coming back after being very rusty with the old stream settings, but I think we've got it under control once again here for the Japanese Grand Prix. Let's have a quick look at the Discord, see what's happening, see if any of the drivers are having any issues at all on circuit. There are a few penalties though after last week's shenanigans. Let's have a quick look. So there's a 5-second penalty for Luke for as his own words, murdering Aiden, because Harvey broke too late and tried to outbrake him, which meant I crashed into Aiden. So Luke, the Humperdinck, where is he on my list? He's not actually racing. Interesting. Okay, I thought he was racing. Looks like he's not. So I think that's the only penalty that we've got at the moment. Let's see if anyone's any issues in the chat. Yeah, everyone seems to be a-okay in the chat, so that's all positive. As we've got an Alpine coming into the pits of Itzvan, a man who's been up there throughout the season, but making a mistake late on in his races have really cost him a lot this year. Let's have a quick look at his while we're here. Standings, where is he? Itzvan. I mean, he's down in 21st, and you can see the DNFs from him. Unfortunately, he's a very quick driver, but his end product it's just not there. I feel like I'm talking about a Premier League striker here. Harry Kane sometimes on his day. But get back to Formula One. Who is on a lap? Joe's going very slowly. What about Quick Dead? The man who actually binned it into the pits. He crashed into the pit divider, which caused a safety car. Well, the first of 2 safety cars we had at Singapore last week. So he'll be hoping to get points and, well, at least finish this Grand Prix this week. The Alpine driver, the second Alpine, like I said, we've got 20 drivers. But actually, Quick Dead. Game Man Steph has also retired. So while we were looking at the standings, we've unfortunately lost the other McLaren. Unfortunately, didn't see what happened to Game Man Steph. So both the McLarens are likely. Well, not necessarily. Jacob, Abe, and Phoenix could not beat that 130.3. So Steph could start off the back row, but we'll keep an eye on that. But Quick Dead, like I said, down in 14th at the moment. Actually, he's going slow. You can hear him lifting off through that corner. So, and he's gone wide. I think to let the red. That was an epic. That was Harv. Is Harv on another lap? He is on another flying. No, he's another slow lap. But we've already been on board with Harv. Let's see if we can find someone else to stay on board with. What about Epic, the other Red Bull? Let's stay on board with him. Maybe we can compare the Red Bull's laps. Obviously, we've seen how quick Harv has been, but we'll see if Epic can match his teammate here. And a lot of cars are dripping out of the pits now. There's I think that was an Alpine coming through. That could have been Itzvan coming out of the pits. But Epic does pretty well through the first sector, coming through the S, is using the curb as much as he can. Be very careful because some of these curbs are very slippy. You can take some and others do not touch even with a millimetre of tyre, but looks to negotiate the Dunlop corner pretty well there into Degner 1 and Degner 2 pretty well looks like coming up to the hairpin. A Ferrari in his way. I think that, no, that's not Tom, it's Jacob it looks like. But again, get out of the way as you do, which is ideal for the Red Bull man. And round towards Spoon. Again, love this track, love this corner. He's got a few cars in his way here. Will they speed up? Will they get out of the way? The Alpine there. Oh no, it's an Aston Martin. My mistake. Gets out of the way nicely, and there's a second Aston Martin. He needs to get out of the way, but Epic could use some of the slipstream here to his advantage, and he's not going to notice him there. Oh dear me, and that is not quick. That's Itzvan, I think it was, getting in the way, and that might be a penalty afterwards. But what about Harv? Harv actually takes pole in all that action. Harv has taken pole off Aiden with a 28.6. Can Aiden match that? Can Passy get involved as well? Or can someone else beat these top three? Itzvan, again, he might get a penalty for blocking. There he goes. Round he goes. Turn one, and that is him pretty much out. If I don't think he's got enough time. He won't have enough time to get round. What about Passy? Passy had slipstream from the Mercedes up ahead of him coming down towards 130R. Could that benefit him coming round the final corner? He comes, the AlphaTauri, as he crosses the line. No, not quick enough. He's not far. He's almost 2/10 actually. And he slows down. Quickest in the final sector, but that's not good enough for him. Harv, no laps from him. What about Aiden? What can Aiden do? He's quickest. Well, he's 2.8 quicker in that final sector. Can he take pole off Harv? He crosses the line. No, he doesn't. And he takes second place, a 28.7 from Aiden. And he will start the best of second place. Can anyone match the top three? It's fun. Again, he's gone quicker, but it's not close enough. What about Joe? Joe's finished his lap. What about Flo? A man who was very involved last week with the fighting, but down to 7th at the moment. I think it's Epic who's just crossed the line. There's an Alfa Romeo Phoenix, I think. Yeah, Phoenix jumped up to 6th place, so that's pretty good for him. But what about Flo here? He's actually slowest. Slow here coming into the last sector here. Can he improve? Can he jump up to a few more places? He crossed the line up to 7th for the Williams. I think JT also jumped up. Phoenix now dropped down to 8th place. Joe going very slow. I think Joe's actually run out of fuel, it looks like. What about Team SMAs? Unfortunately, an invalidation for him. He'll start outside the top 10. And is that it? Abe, unfortunately, retired. Has invalidated his lap time as well. So I think that is everybody. It looks like here at Japan. And qualifying over and done with. That is it. Bish bash bosh. It's race time, I think, guys, here at Japan. A few arguments happening in the Discord chat, it looks like, with some blocking, like you mentioned there. So there could be some stewards inquiries after this Grand Prix, but Joe, the final man to come into the pits, and hopefully we get over and done with this qualifying session and we can run it down before we get going in the race here at Japan. Looking forward to this one. Like I said, I think anyway, one of the best circuits on the current F1 calendar. Iconic corners, iconic history. You know, Kobayashi getting a podium, his only podium in Formula 1 here at Japan. Obviously, Schumacher, Alonso, Senna, Prost. Also, Senna, Prost twice. You know, they coming together at turn 1 as well. Where Senna, well, allegedly took out Prost. That's always up for debate, really. But let's run down the standings here in WR. Tier number 3. Harv takes first place with Aiden in second, Passy third, Itzvan fourth, Ali Ferrari in 5th, JT in 6th, Flo in 7th, Phoenix 8th, Joe Murphy in 9th, and Hayden runs off the top 10. Maze 11th, Kirby 12th, Ray in 13th, Tom 14th, Epic 15th, QuickDead 16th, Game Man 7th, 17th, my comrade in question, Jacob, my fellow Welshman, in 18th. Abe in 19th. Abe Fjorn, maybe. Let's go and keep with Abe. And Trolley down in last place with no lap time whatsoever. So that is qualifying over and done with. Let me know who you think is going to win this race in the group chat in the YouTube comment section, and we'll get some predictions read out. If I remember correctly, there is no formation lap. We get straight into it here, and the clouds are a little bit overcast. We've had rain here in the past, and that could add to all the commotion here at Japan for the Japanese Grand Prix. Really looking forward to this one, even though I'm on my own. Might take some water breaks, just like that one, because it's going to be super exciting. It's a great race, and it's non-stop. It is really just pedal to the metal, and it should be a good one here tonight for WOR. So I was taking a quick look at some of the admin chats to make sure everything is going a-okay. Yeah, it looks like everything's okay. Super. Right, Japanese Grand Prix. Time to race, guys. Let me know who you think will win this one. Maybe a surprise. Could it be a race? One of our championship leaders could be a brand new winner here at this 5.8 kilometre circuit. Guys, circuit's been analysed 1987, and it's the only figure 8 circuit we have on the calendar. They should probably design some more. That would be great, but I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. But obviously, this is Honda's test track. That's what it's built for originally, and it's now a full-fledged F1 circuit with fantastic fans, with those amazing F1 hard hats that you see when the race is on, and they're very passionate fans. Doesn't matter what it is, F1, Super Formula, GT racing, they're always out in the numbers. World Endurance, and also you got Fuji, which is another great track as well. I think we raced in 2008. The race was there, and it was a downpour, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's quite the race then. Anyway, hopefully we won't have to wait too long for this race to begin. You can see the marshals are getting eager to wave their flags and get ready to wave. Hopefully not too many yellow flags, even a red flag. I don't know. We can't have red flags in the game. Hopefully, no penalty flags either in this Grand Prix. But like I said, 3 races left of the season. Mexico, Brazil and Saudi Arabia left this year for the guys. Double check that. Yeah, I was right. So should be a good one. Should be a super end to the season, and hopefully the championship gets down to the end. There's still all to play for. Even if you're not in the top 3, it's pretty close on the grid, with nothing separating the some of the guys, especially the guys that are just outside the top 10. They could really get into it, but the countdown has started. It's time to get going. 15 seconds left before the guys get ready. The nerves are starting. The pressure builds. Who will take the win? Who will be audacious on this first lap? Who's going to come out on top at the end of this race? We'll have to wait and find out. We'll find out very shortly, I'm sure. But here we go then, guys. The lights are coming on. That's 5 red lights here at Japan for WR Tier 3 race, and it's lights out, and away we go. And it looks like a good start for Ha, but look at Aiden trying to claw his way. Does not manage to take the lead off our race leader here. A few movements already. It looks like Amaze up 3 places, but it's the Red Bull leading us away, coming into the first couple of corners. Aiden not giving any respite to the race leader already. Yellow flag, and I think that's Phoenix, who's down 12 places after spinning, coming on the exit of turn 1. Don't know if there's contact or not there, but through Harv goes on this first lap. Passy just slightly further behind was Itzfan, directly on his gearbox. in 4th place, and Ali Ferrari getting involved against the Alpine here as they come through Degner 2 for the very first time. Joe Murphy, actually there's a bit of action in the background between JT, Joe and Flo all fighting away. Both the Aston Martins getting involved with that. And there's another mistake. It looks like Ali Ferrari is out of the session. Where did that happen? Is it at the hairpin? Yeah, he's gone straight on at the hairpin, and already a safety car on lap number 1. The Haas car is out of this race. I switched off for just a moment and I missed that. I was looking at the guys behind. Looks he's gone straight on. Whether he's missed a break or there was contact there, but unfortunately already down to 9 drivers in this Grand Prix. Not great. Sorry, 19 drivers. Yeah, definitely got 9 drivers. 19 drivers left here, but few big losses there for the back for Quick Dead, Phoenix and Epic. Perfect timing now because they can come into the pits. Doesn't look like there's any damage for Epic. What about Phoenix? Nothing from him. And Quick Dead, no, all seem to be okay. So maybe just spins there. Neither a Quick Dead not coming into the pits, but there's a pit stop for Amaze. It looks like, I presume that will be a front wing change for the Williams. And no, it's not just a set of hard tyres. It looks like maybe there is rain near the end of this Grand Prix. But the winners and losers, before we get on to the tyres, winners and losers. Abe up 7 places, started in 19th place. So that's a great start from the Mercedes driver, obviously benefiting from mistakes further back. While Steph is up 5, he's a fantastic starter to any Grand Prix, so he's up into 11th, and then you've also got Trolley up 5 places as well, the other McLaren, while you've also got a few 4 places, and also Kirby, sorry, apologies Kirby, missed you out there in 7th place, up, excuse me, a few places as well. But with regard to the tyre strategy, this is what we're going to quick look at while we've got a little break. Everybody on hard tyres, minus Epic and Phoenix. But who's just stopped? Going the wrong way. No, there we go. No, stops. There we go. So Phoenix has put on those medium tyres, and Amaze has put on a set of hard tyres at the end of that lap. So it'd be interesting to know how. So we might have rain. We might do, or maybe they're presuming we'll have another safety car in this Grand Prix. But I do hope that Phoenix catches up. I think we'll have one more lap of safety car action here at Japan in the early stages here, and let's see if we can see what happened to and unfortunately Ali Ferrari's not mentioned anything in the chat, so I don't know what happened there to him, unfortunately. So Joe Murphy is not too happy with Kirby. Use him as a brake marker, it looks like. So the fist already out here in tier number 3. But while we've got a break, it's just making sure everything is working a-okay. It looks like it is. Thank you for those who are tuning in and watching. I do apologise if I do babble a lot. There we go. So Phoenix pitting now to use both sets of tyres, it looks like. And then he can... that's him done then. He can go to the heart of the end, which they will get to the end. They won't be very pleasant, but they definitely can get to the end. 24 laps for him on there. Yeah, should be fine for the Alfa Romeo driver. But so he'll benefit when everyone else comes in the pit. But obviously, those tyres will be pretty worn near the end of this Grand Prix. So we haven't really had any racing yet. You know, I was expecting a frantic flurry of cars at the start, but because of the safety car, we've been muted at the start of this race. Unfortunately, I do hope we get a cracker of a race. I'm sure we will here at Japan. We usually do. But obviously everyone's ERS fully charged up, ready to do some overtaking. But again, we'll have to wait another 3 laps for any DRS overtaking zones. Obviously only the one here at Japan, the activation zone well, to make sure you're in within 1 second, actually happens at the entry of the Casio triangle, the entry of 16. So, crucially, even if you make a mistake through the Casio triangle to the final chicane, you can still stay within touching distance of the car ahead. But safety car will be in on this lap. Got close. Aiden got to the back of Harv on that start. Well, on the slowdown bit, making sure the safety car goes in. When will Harv go? Ali Farah leaves the session. When will Harv go? Can Aiden not be caught out? He's left him a little bit of a gap there. And that has, and Harv noticed that, and he's gone. He's gone on the exit of 17, and Aiden's not been caught out napping too much, you could say. He's still within 4/10 of the race leader, but it is go, go, go once again here at Japan for tier number 3. Race number 12, I think, of the season. I will try and remember that, but Harvey's the way, and we've already got movement further down. I think that was, there we go, Jacob getting past Steph. Steph's had a horrible start through the S section. If you get squiffed up at the start, that really costs you time, and it looks like Steph has, and now he's got Ray directly on his gearbox coming round Dunlop for the 4th time here at Japan. But it looks like Steph got back into the groove of things and will try his very best to claw his way back up. I mean, still up from where he started, but look at Ray, gets a far better exit out of Degner 2, but again not close enough to make any moves coming into the hairpin here, but gets very close on the banked area of that part of the circuit. But let's get back up to, well, the leader's a little bit spaced out at the moment. Obviously still everyone's got cold tyres. Those hard tyres do take a little bit longer to heat up, so you'd expect Epic down in 17th to make some moves, being on those fresh medium tyres. He's closing actually on the car ahead. That's Quickted in 16th, but we'll stay on board with the race leaders. We don't know what will happen here. I say that though, Joe and Kirby actually side by side through 130. I saw that on the exit, and side by side they go into the Casio triangle. They'll go side by side through the section as well, and look at the Mercedes around the outside from Joe Murphy. That's a fantastic move. Then gets his revenge on Kirby after the start of this Grand Prix, losing the place too. And that's a great move. I'm so glad I caught that on camera. Through turn 1 they go. Can Kirby fight back here? No, he can't, and he'll have to wait a little bit longer to try and catch up and try and overtake Joe Murphy in 7th and 8th here. But you can already see a gap from, because of that battling, the top 6 have now broken away, and Joe Murphy might be in a little bit of trouble once that DRS is enabled further along in this race. I think Epic's managed to get, no, he's still behind, but look, there's another mistake. That's Abe's made a mistake. Oh dear me, where is he? The exit of Dunlop, he's made a mistake. Like I mentioned, that could be going onto the curb, and that's cost him a heap of places here in this Grand Prix. Another man to keep an eye on though is Passy and Itzvan. We know how quick he is, we know what he can do in a car. It just never seems to work out for him when it comes to points at the end of a race. Makes a mistake here or there, even made a mistake at the end of qualifying. Running a little bit wide through Spoon. That might give him a warning. You won't jump on the warning bandwagon just yet, but he's the closest man, it looks like, on track to Passy. Well, to any other car on circuit. Ray and Steph are close as well, but we'll stay on board with the top 4 as they come through the Casio triangle for the 5th time here. No moves just yet, but I believe we'll have DRS on this lap. I mean, it is the next lap. I should have a notification any moment now, but half fast lap of the race, and there we go. DRS is now enabled, so we'll see it on the next lap. More yellow flags, and I think that's quick to make a mistake, it looks like, and he's lost a heap of time. 5 seconds to what he was battling with Epic not too long ago in this Grand Prix. But Flo has also dropped back off the train here. 1 second, and he needs to make sure he stays within that, because we know how important DRS is at circuits like this. It'd be great to have another section coming off the Spoon to 130R, but we don't have that. I say that Flo lost a lot of time there, but now quickest in the first sector. So obviously my words of wisdom there, my words of encouragement helped him in that first sector, and he'll looks like he'll close to the back of the train once again, not far off JT. The top guys a little bit spaced out, nothing too much happening at the moment. All the action seems to be happening further down here I mean, like right near the bottom. Epic's gained a few places on the since the restart on the safety car. On the as you'd expect on medium set of tyres, and now he's got Trolley, the man who did not qualify after making a mistake very early doors in the qualifying session earlier on in the stream, but close man at the moment, and as you should be, but not far back is Phoenix in 17th, not far back at all. As have another fastest lap of the Grand Prix. And there you go. Take that. Passy takes that. Joe Murphy takes that. 32.9. They're all they're switching it up. They're passing it that mantra around. Who wants a fast lap? Well, here we go. Look at Epic flying down the pit straight. Does he pop to the inside? No, he doesn't. He don't think he's close enough to make that move on Trolley here. As quick into the pits on lap number 7. As hopefully he comes out as well and doesn't retire in the pit lane. But Epic not being able to get past Trolley, and that's hindering his medium run here. You know, he obviously needs to get by these drivers. He's on the better compound tyre, and ideally to get by him ASAP. But again, the first sector very much single file as Jacob, our first man with a penalty in 11th place behind his teammate here. Can Epic make a move into the hairpin? No, not close enough at the moment here. But further back, Kirby again got his own train behind him now. Hayden, the man who was a bit of a ghost last week and appeared out of nowhere, is hopefully I've given him enough screen time this evening, and he'll be happy with that. But he's chasing down Kirby here again. Everyone pretty much on the same strategy. A few Ferraris weaving in the background trying to break the toe. But here we go, Ray actually. Let's keep an eye on him. Through 130R they go. Everyone going extremely wide there. Can he make a move on Steph? Here he does, but Steph gets a penalty trying to stop the Haas from getting by him. So that's going to cost him at the end of this Grand Prix. Him and Jacob both with penalties. Here, Hayden goes around the outside through turn number 1. Can he make that move? Stick, that would be fantastic if he doesn't. Yes, he does. Around the outside of turn number 1. And that is Hayden up into P8 now, and Kirby will have to drop back a place here back to P9. And I think Kirby's struggling a little bit on this set of tyres. More yellow flags on circuit. I think, who is that for? I think it was QuickTed making a mistake. And Trolley has lost 2 places here. He's in the gravel as well through the S's. And Trolley's evening has gone from bad to worse. And he's near the back of the grid now. There's a few drivers a bit spaced out because of pit stops, but he's lost a heap of time here this evening as well after making that mistake. Unfortunately coming through the S's as Ray gets past Steph up the inside through the hairpin, and Steph trying to use all the road there, and I don't think that's worked in his favour whatsoever, and he drops down to P13 now again, like I mentioned, with that penalty hanging over his head. We barely mentioned the top guys. The top 2 have actually broken away here. Passy slipping out of that 1 second window is 1.3, putting second and third, and Passy, he's going to lose touch if he's not careful to the top guys here, and that's going to cost them, well, himself. And I know obviously title's not decided yet, but the more cars in between himself and Harv, the closer championship will get. But Passy actually quickest in that final sector, so it's not all over just yet. But everyone again a little bit spaced out once again as we get onto lap 9 of 27 here at Japan. 92 drivers left. Unfortunately, we lost Ali on the first lap, going straight on at turn 11, the hairpin, and causing a safety car on the very first 3 laps of, well, 3 racing laps we had. So we've only recently got going really here at Japan. But yeah, a bit of a lull at the moment. Everyone's just running their own race. Excuse me, no pit stops just yet. Hopefully, apologies if you can hear the rain in the background. It's very wet and windy here in Swansea, and hopefully everyone else is keeping safe in these horrible and unsafe conditions. But Tom closing that gap down to Kirby, the next man on the hit. There's a bit of damage to that front left side of the Ferrari there, or maybe just a bit of a dirt, some wheel banging maybe causing that. But back up at the front, Aiden getting very close to Spoon. Could this be the opportunity he needs to take the lead off Harv? And the more battling these two do, the better it is for Passy, Itzvan and the rest of the guys in the top 5. Flo actually has dropped back quite considerably now from the top 5 there. JT not too far away, but Aiden not quick enough. He's slower coming out of the chicane, and that's costing him a lot of time. So I don't think we'll see any moves from him. But further down, it looks like it's Phoenix, the man who's closest on circuit, to take a move on Epic up ahead. But I think he might be a little bit too far away. And the fact that Epic also has DRS isn't going to help his cause. But I say that though, Tom and Kirby going side by side. Tom's not popped up the inside. Can Kirby hanging around the outside? No, he can't. But there's a Mercedes around. That's Joe Murphy around as well. And he's going to drop way down the field. I think that was contact with Hayden maybe, because Hayden's going really slow. Is that damage to the front wing of Hayden? Yeah, Hayden's got no front wing on that car. There's contact between both these cars, and hopefully there's no one been run off the road there. Tom and Jacob going around the outside of the slow Alpha Tauri, trying to weave his way through the cars. Everyone zooming past while he got no downforce whatsoever on that Alpha Tauri. And I didn't see exactly what happened. Quick, there looks to be around. Was that a maze around? Sorry, there's a maze around. But Hayden, after having a fairly good start of this Grand Prix, now was a heap of positions, and I'm sure he'll be hoping for a safety car in this race this evening, and he'll be gutted with that tonight, with everything that's happened. It was not a great race, unfortunately. That's, I don't want to say race over, but it could well be for the Alpha Tauri. But stay on board with Phoenix, who we were on board with earlier. Maybe you should get on board with Tom, actually. Tom in the slipstream, he can't make a move to 1-3. I don't think he's close enough, but takes a big chunk of curb on the inside line. Not close enough coming into the Castle Triangle. And actually, the Aston Martin's gone deep, and that's going to cost him time. And he's actually got a penalty. And he's actually up because he's gone straight on, actually. So that, he's got the penalty, and now he stay ahead for one more lap. But I think the inevitable will happen. He will be overtaken by Tom, and he's really struggling on these hard tyres as Joe Murphy gets past Hayden in the pits there. But you can see the gaggle of cars behind the Ferrari of Tom. You've got Jacob, Ray, Steph, Epic and Phoenix all dueling away, waiting for Kirby to make a mistake. And he's holding up at a bit of a train here. You can see the grain, fairly equal graining on both those cars, the Aston and the Ferrari. But is that side by? No, it's not side by. I thought it was Steph trying to go up the inside of Ray there coming into Degner 1. But that is one difficult place to make an overtake. Here at Japan, but again, single file from these guys. I love to talk about the top guys, but they're not doing anything at the moment. They're all running their own race. But that's not a problem. Well, I'm sure something will happen with them at one point. But the Ferraris, they're on the same strategy here, so they need to play it safe here as Kirby goes very deep into Spoon. And could that allow one of these Ferraris to get by here? Could we see Jacob make a move on his teammate before Tom gets a move on the driver in front? They need to work together here, and he actually has to lift coming into the this section. Through they go for the 12th, 11th time for these guys. Oh, and that's a spin coming out of the turn number 18 then. Luckily, he's on the way into the pit. I don't think he wanted the pit there, but he'll carry on going, I think, Kirby. No, he actually pulls in the pits. Definitely needs a new set of tyres on that Aston Martin. And now it releases the Ferrari of Tom, Jacob and the rest of that gaggle of cars. 7.1, split 6th and 7th. Keep an eye on that and see whether Tom, now he's in fresh air, can close down to the Williams up in PR. Very lonely Williams, in fact. Flo just on his own as JT has got past Itzvan on the exit of Degner 2, and race control is telling Steph gets a penalty. Steph actually, trolley out of this Grand Prix. Amazed just goes by him. Let's see what happened there. It looks like he's binned it on the left side. He'll get an on board with Kirby. He's hit the wall on the left side at turn number 6. I don't think we'll have a safety car for that, luckily. Well, luckily for me and my voice, but I'm sure a few of the guys wouldn't mind a safety car. But unfortunately, that's down to 18 drivers here tonight at Japan. Harv still holding the lead with it, Aiden in second. Patty dropping now 2 seconds behind the top 2. And no move just yet. And the top 2 are trading fast laps of 32.6 from Aiden. And he's just telling him, I'm still here. I'm still running as quick as you are. I'm just holding back my pace. If you want to turn it up, I'll turn it up. If you want to turn it down, I'll turn it down. I think they're playing a good game here. And working together, you could argue, to try and gap Passy in all of this. Passy, again, he's got no one to help him either. JT's dropped off. Itzvan has also dropped off after JT actually making the move on him. So, and Flo actually closing the gap down a little bit to Itzvan as well. Itzvan struggling now on the lap 13 of 27, and Tom is closing the gap down. It's come down by a few tenths of a second as Hayden fast lap of the race at 31.9 on fresh medium tyres, as Jacob gets a second penalty in P8. He's not doing too well, and Abe also out of the session, and we've got a second safety car in this race, and unfortunately he's binned it at turn number, or the, it's quite a strange place to bin it. It looks like, see, England, he's put it in the, well, unfortunately the car disappeared now, but he put it in the exit, almost the entry of 7, but on the opposite side of the circuit. So a very peculiar thing to happen, but there should be a heap of pit stops here. Those mediums will get to the end and will have, yes, they will all peel in to the pit lane here. Does anyone audacious and stay out? I don't think there's really an option to stay out here. The only thing for Ferrari here, they're going to be in a little bit of trouble now because both on the same strategy, and Jacob stays out for one more lap, and that he could lose a lot of place there. I would have said it would have been better to double stack. Yes, it would have cost you time, but it would have cost you less time than going round and losing all those places, because now Jacob is a net P1 and he's been slowed down by the safety car, who hasn't only now got moving here. So that's going to cost him a lot of time here. Joe Murphy getting a front wing change as well in all of that action. What a water race we've had so far. It's been non-stop, a lot of action, a lot of lulls, a lot of highs, but it's been pretty good so far. It's just waiting for Abe. There we go. I ran wide at 130R and then nearly dropped it coming off, so took out the brake board there. That's my fault. So there's an issue at there, but then he's also made a mistake coming through the middle sector as well. So not great from him, but I'm sure he'll come back stronger next week. But everyone on the mediums minus Epic, but he could be going in and he come back out again. So keep an eye on him. Obviously started on the medium tyres. So yeah, Aiden looking like. Oh, I think it's because Abe took out the pit board, and obviously these guys don't run line. I don't think they're all no assist at all. So they've got to break in a board somewhere, or some sort of marker they can refer to through 130 yards. Keep an eye on. There we go. You can see the ones on the right side, so it should be okay. Jacob's going to pit now, but he's going to be way back. He could even be behind Amazed down in 15th here, unless he's going to stay out a little bit longer. Probably best to pit. No, he's staying out. He's staying out. Has he pitted already? No, he's not. Interesting strategy from him. And Epic stays out, so Epic's going to go on to the soft to the end of the race. Oh, that's a very bold move from him. But if he can do it, you know, fair play to him. Fair play to him. Yeah. Hopefully Jacob has got something up his sleeve. Not that I'm biased whatsoever in the comments box, be it a Welshman currently leading this race, which is great to see. Yeah, like I said, I'm not biased, not at all. Not at all. That would be one good thing if they could add the nationalities of the drivers on the side, as well as the tyre conditions and also the weather. All three things would be a great addition to the game. But anyway, Jacob still, obviously, like I said, leading the second safety car of the race. We had one on the very first lap, caused by Ali. And then Trolley unfortunately retired through the S's at turn 6. And finally Abe Fjorn retiring, coming at the, well, technically entry of 7, but on the opposite side. So weird, a weird place to bin it. But we're over the halfway stage here now. Let me know your predictions. Who's going to win this Grand Prix? Who could there be a surprise here? Could someone out of nowhere do it? Could Epic come out of nowhere and smash it and somehow get this off to the end? It could well do. It'd be quite the feat, as all the cars have gathered back together and we'll get going in this race. We'll have 12 racing laps remaining. Jacob will lead us away here in the Ferrari on a set of hard tyres, yet to pit. Not gone just yet. I'll keep an eye on his throttle control. When does he go? And he's gone. He's gone there, and Harv has caught him. He's not got him napping whatsoever. And Harv already overtaking the Ferrari. If Harv can get this place here, that'll be momentum coming through here. And he does get through. Takes P1 off the Ferrari, but unfortunately for him, Eden flies straight back through as well. No, he hasn't. Tom still holds P2. And that could be crucial for this race. Harv already a second ahead of Jacob because their tyre difference, the tyres is not heated up on the Ferrari, and Aiden is losing seconds by the corner to Ferrari ahead of him. Jacob has every right to race, but Aiden could lose his Grand Prix here because of the Ferrari ahead of him. He's pushing him through the Degners, and he's losing so much. And Passy also getting involved with this fight. Aiden needs to get by him now, through the hairpin, up the inside he goes. Oh, and he's defended it. Jake, oh, and he's had contact. Passy's hit the back of him, and he's around, and he's down to P7, P8, P9, even P10 for Aiden now. And Jacob holds P2. He closed the door on Aiden coming into the hairpin, and that's dropped him all the way down to P10. There could be damage to that front wing as well, just a slight bit for Aiden, and he's all the way. He's outside the points now as well, as Epic gets by him on those fresh soft tyres. And that could be the race over for Aiden. No, well, he'll get points I'm sure, but he won't be. He's still challenging for the title as well, as Harv already 2.5 over Jacob. He's ran away with it. It's his race to lose now with 11 laps left of this race. Jacob still out on those hard tyres. Passy in second. It's fun in P3, but obviously Jacob will still need to pit at one point in this Grand Prix. Further back, Ray and Flo fighting away, and even further back on the top. Oh, he's around. The Haas is around. Ray's made. I think there was contact then. There's a Williams around as well of a Maze. I don't know whether it's contact between both of them. I thought I saw something, but there's front wing damage. I think something came off one of the cars. Oh no, Hayner, not again. Oh mate, you're having a horrible time as Jacob is around. Well, Jacob's lost a heap of positions actually, which allowed the top next 5 drivers through, it looks like. But Hayner's lost another front wing. You can't catch a break in this Grand Prix. Oh dear me, it's been non-stop in this race. Jacob holds P7. Just Steph needs to get by him, like I said, now. While Jacob, obviously a lot slower than everybody else on fresh medium tyres. And Passy 3.6 seconds, but first and second. Can he close that down in 10.5 laps? He could, but Harv has been on another level this evening, and it could be his 3rd win in a row this evening. There we go. Steph up the inside. Surely they're not going to go side by side to one thing. I know he doesn't. Steph makes the move stick before them, but Jacob is not going to give up on the place. Steph holds the inside. Jacob around the outside. You've got Phoenix in the background, but Jacob, fair play to him. Oh, he wants to go into the pits, and Steph wanted to go straight on. Jacob, I'm not sure about that one. Jacob, you're obviously on the outside trying to cut back into the pits, and Steph was on the outside. Steph was still side by side with Jacob, and Steph loses a few places there as well, and he'll be fuming underneath that orange helmet as well in the McLaren. And then another race to forget for Steph, it looks like, and Jacob into the pits finally, where Aiden also in the pits. Actually, I think Aiden may have lost damage to that front wing, and that is his race almost over and done with as well. And Harv, 4.1. Harv is on absolute fire. He's on rails. He's non-stop. You can't stop this guy. It could be 3 wins in a row for Harv, and that could, well, that'll jump he'll get another 7 points on Passy, which will bring the championship difference to 11 points with 3 races to go if things stay like this. However, this race isn't done with. Anything can happen. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. We've seen it in the past. Anything can happen. The only problem Passy has now, once DRS is enabled, he's got Itzfan, JT and all the other cars directly behind him who will obviously be trying to chase and take P2 off Passy. So he's got that to deal with as well, which obviously not ideal for the Alpha Terran. Oh, excuse me. Oh, what a frantic restart that was. 9 laps remaining of this race. What a race we've had so far, eh, guys? It's been hectic to say the least. But Quick Ted, no, that's Joe Murphy once again in the pits. Joe's had a torrid time of this race. Amazed fast lap the race down in 13th, which don't think he'll get the points unless he finishes in the top 10. But he's pretty quick now, and it's himself and Kirby. And Kirby, that back end on the Aston Martin is really struggling. I think his setup is off, or maybe he's turned something off this evening. He's really struggling. There he goes, off the track he goes, and that's damage. And is that him written off? No, it's not. Luckily, he went backwards into the wall, but Kirby's having a torrid time this evening, and I think the setup is a little bit off for the Aston Martin driver. Amazed takes up gains a place. Then he can see points ahead of him. Steph has a point, and he has a penalty as well. So Amazed still has a chance to gain points in this race if he can close that gap down to Ray and Steph ahead of him. Further on, just trying to get on board, just so much frantic action happening, and I'm on my own, just making sure that I cover as much as I possibly can. So keep an eye on JT, the other Aston Martin, you could argue the quicker Aston Martin, when you're looking at the places in this current race. Not close enough at the moment to make any moves on JT, but Tom up now as well, up into P5, and Flo not too far behind him either. So he's definitely one to keep an eye on. Flo's been fantastic since I've watched him in these races, and very quick on the restarts, and very good on his tyres as well. So he could be one to watch as Tom pushing his way, trying to catch up with JT, and Tom has to be very careful because now it's 9-10 splitting 4th and 5th, and that could cost him time, especially with how close Flo is coming out of the Castro Triangle. We've got another yellow flag, and I think that is Amazed, who is going very slowly. I bigged him up, and I think I might have contact cursed him there, and now he will definitely not be getting points in this Grand Prix unless you have a streak of retirements from the top guys at one point in this race. But Flo now within 4/10, and Tom's lost that second window, and this could be Flo's opportunity to take the place off. And up ahead, Itzfan 3/10 behind Passy here, so stay on board with Itzfan as it's slightly further up. We'll keep an eye on the other guy. Oh, he's got into the back of him there, and Itzfan had to go straight on, and that's caused him to have a penalty. Now JT will take P3, and Itzfan drops down to 4th place in all that. Flo's made a mistake at one point because he's dropped back slightly, but Itzfan again, I'm not sure whether he clattered the back of Passy, but definitely missed a braking point and lost time. Now he's down to 4th, and with a penalty on top of him as well, which is definitely a kick in the teeth for the Alpine driver. And with how close everyone still is on circuit, that could cost him a few places as well at the end of this Grand Prix. The gap between first and second has even gone up even further. It's now 5.1. Excuse me, splitting first and second, with the next couple of drivers are quite close, with Passy, JT and Itzfan all pretty good, but JT now has an opportunity to take P2 off Passy. 5/10, 4/10. It's getting closer, and we've got more yellow flags. Who's made a mistake through there? It looks like it was Ray and Steph, maybe? No, it's Joe Murphy making a mistake, it looks like, in that first sector. No, he's having a torrid time this evening, it looks like. But JT loses a little bit of time going through Spoon, and that could cost him coming into the Cassia Triangle. And we've not seen too many moves coming into turn 1. I think we've seen 2, 3 maybe. We caught 2 of them at least on stream at one point. So we've got that to drop back on. But again, these guys are not close enough. But I say that the flow is definitely close enough. He's down the inside of the Ferrari of Tom and takes P5 off the Ferrari man. And Tom actually misses breaking point and have to go off the circuit there slightly. Luckily, there's no gravel there, and it's all tarmac in the first part of it anyway. So he doesn't lose too much time, but again, loses it. Oh, right, he lost about almost 9/10 there to Flo. Excuse me. And now it's Phoenix, who's gone from the back of the grid pretty much up into P7 now. I say that though, he has that penalty hanging over his head that could cost him an epic. And the soft tyres still going pretty strong, but however those tyres will definitely be screaming. You can see the massive graining on the tyres with that split between dark and light grey on those tyres. So yeah, definitely he'll be struggling right at the end. Hopefully doesn't get a puncture to end his race. But back up the front with JT, he's very quick through this middle sector, but he can't catch up. What's the... Oh, actually as well, the US usage difference is not spoken about that much. Passy, roughly 20%, while JT is double that with 55, well, double and a little bit more. But again, the wheel spin coming out the final corner has cost him more time as well. If Ray gets a penalty down in P10, again, just not close enough at this point in the circuit. It looks like he's catching him at the wrong point on the circuit, which is again costing him time and time and money, well, time and places, you could argue. But and that's his fan straight on at turn number 5, and we have a third safety car here. Ray's also retired. It looks like, and can anyone benefit from pits here? Jacob will. He got on a set of mediums, and May just missed out. What about Aiden? Aiden's in the pits as well. Johnny Murphy's retired, and It's Fun keeps a streak up of not being able to finish a race here. Oh, gutted for him. He's doing so well. He just went straight on, it looked like, at turn 4 or 5. Yeah, really weird moment there. And we're down to 14 drivers now in this Grand Prix. Ray also binning at the exit as well as cars fly by the safety car here. Pit stops, fresh tyres. Right, what are we saying? Fresh tyres for Jacob. Kirby, I think, is on a fresh set as well, who's just pitted. But obviously a worn set. Aiden on fresh tyres as well. Can anyone... I think they're too far back to jump the guys ahead of them if they don't, or even close the gap. But Harv stays out. So does Passy, JT, Flo, Tom. Everyone pretty much stays out on the tyres they were on. What does Steph do? Steph pits. I don't blame Steph because he's got a big gap to Amaze. 19 seconds. If Steph can get out here, fresh set of softs, no front wing change, he could get him for Delta for Amaze the bit off. Well, actually, Amaze in the pits anyway. So, Steph, fresh tyres. If you can get onto the back of the train, Steph is in a great position to gain some places. He does that penalty, like I said, hanging over his head, but definitely a man to watch. This has definitely also helped Epic, who was on soft tyres anyway. Obviously, slowing down on the safety car reduces the wear on those soft tyres. So that'll be another man who benefits from all of this as well. What a race we've had. 3 safety cars. Oh dear me, it's been a long evening, hasn't it? What's happening? A few people aren't too happy with some of the driving standards. It looks like in the Discord chat, but hopefully they make up afterwards, and all this. But we won't have. I think we'll only have the for one more lap, because you have to have 3 racing laps, or at least, or 3 or 2 racing laps behind the safety car. But Steph and Maze will catch up to the safety car. That's not a problem. It should actually. Everyone minus Heynen should catch up. Well, hopefully Heynen will, but I don't think he's a lap and a half behind. So that'll be too much of an ask. But Quick Dead comes to the pit actually, and that might be I think he missed the pit lane, hence why he's gone to a set of softs, and he'll be racing with Steph as well as Amazed, or slightly further back. But again, Steph and Quick Dead both on fresh set of softs, but they were stupidly quick on this as. Quick Dead out the pits. Actually, Maze has jumped him in all that as well, but obviously Quick Dead on soft tyres. Jacob there as well on fresh mediums, or fresher mediums, and then you've got Kirby. Not too far. Kirby will get there. Actually, I think hopefully Heynen will get there, so Heynen will join the queue right at the end before the safety car gets going. But will it be Harv or will it be Passy? Harv had a 5-second lead, which has been cut to shreds in an instant after Itzvan retiring on lap 23. I'm sure he'll be gutted over that, and with the championship as close as it is, I mean, I'm not complaining because it comes down to the wire. However, I'm sure Harv isn't too happy with all that. Joe Murphy leaves the session. Another man, unfortunately. We lost Itzvan, Ray, Joe, Abe, Trolley, and Ali Ferrari in all that frantic action this evening. But who will take the win? Will it be Harv? Will it be Passy? Will it even be JT? Could it even be Tom or Phoenix? Maybe not Phoenix with the penalty. But I'm hoping the safety car comes in on this lap. Yes, it will be. And we'll have 2 racing laps left of this Japanese Grand Prix. Right then, strap yourselves in, get your popcorn at the ready. Who is going to take the race win here? Harv will lead us away. Hopefully, this will be the final time he'll lead us away. When does he go? I think he's left it a little bit later. No, he's left it earlier than last time. And look, he's caught Passy napping now. 7 tenths. Spring him, and JT might even get Passy before they get to turn number 1. He goes to the inside line. Harv has run away with the lead already, but again, not close enough for JT, and they will have to stay behind Passy. Passy needs to get a move on here if he wants to win this Grand Prix. Already 8 tenths, put in first and second. JT pushing Passy around. Flo there as well, with Phoenix and Tom not far behind as well. Kirby gets by Aiden in all that as well, and they're in their own little ding dong down in P11 and P12, but through they go, through Degna 2 for the penultimate time in this Grand Prix. Harv still now 1.1 as Steph gets past Phoenix around the outside, surely not at the hairpin. He'll have a better exit here, and he does. He makes that move stick. What a fantastic move from Steph, and Phoenix has nothing to reply with. He's on worn tyres while Steph is on those crisp fresh softs, apologies, here at Japan, and he moves up into P6, and now he has Tom to deal with up in P number 5. Maybe even he can get Flo as well, but that'd be too much of an ask. But again, that 3 seconds will be killing him in this Grand Prix. But Passy has got nothing to reply with, and Steph, and around he goes, 360 spin. It's going to be a 720 spin in the end for him, and he's lost all that hard work. Got a wheel on the outside, and that is him down to P12, P13 actually, in all that frantic action. JT just can't get by. Hayden fastest lap of the race. Could Hayden get into the... No, I don't think he's going to get in the points. It's 3.5 seconds. Unless those penalties are really quite severe for Quick Dead and Kirby. But JT can't get by without the DRS. He just can't make a move. He was struggling behind him earlier. And Passy just can't work his way by and can't close the gap down to Harvey. Yellow flags at 1. That's Jacob out of this Grand Prix. We'll only finish with 13 drivers. Oh, gutted for Jacob. The last turn number 4. Turn 4 or 5, I think. Then he'll be kicking himself, especially at the end of the Grand Prix in Epic. Actually, obviously the tyres are really struggling now. He's down in P13. But Harv, he's had it easy. He's done everything he needed to do. He started in P1. He's led almost all this race. Minus Jacob taking the lead on the safety car, and no one has really been able to challenge him. Can JT, just before I cut it back to Harv, no, he's not close enough, but Harv has led from start to finish. No one has been able to challenge him, and he'll reduce the gap in the championship. But Harv will win the Japanese Grand Prix with Passy in second, JT P3, and Flo will take 4th. Tom 5th, Amazed 6th. Phoenix drops down a place. Aiden actually finishes in 8th. So he gets a couple of points. Quick Dead in 9th. Hayden will get points after all his troubles. Fantastic to see that in all this. Kirby 11th. And Steph rounds off 12 drivers. I say that? No, sorry. Epic still going round. The final Red Bull will give him some screen time at the end of the race. He was so close at one point, but just didn't work in his favour, unfortunately, near the end. And that's him finishing on the grass. And we had 13 drivers finishing the Grand Prix out of a possible 20 here. AMS Epic 8 in 13th place at the Japanese Grand Prix. Quick driver of the day. I'm partial to give it to Harv just because of the dominance he had this evening, so I might have to give it to him. But let's quickly run down the grid here. Harv wins it with Passy in second, JT in P3, so an international lineup on the podium with Flo in 4th, Tom in 5th, Amaze 6th, Phoenix 7th, Aiden in 8th, Quick Dead 9th, and Hayden in P number 10. And they also get a point fast lap, I think, as well, with 30.3. Kirby 11th, Steph in 12th, and Epic, the final man to finish the Grand Prix. And then all the retirements we had. Jacob, Itzvan, Ray, Joe Murphy, Abe Vaughan, Trolley, and Ali Ferrari, all unfortunately not been able to finish the Grand Prix. Well then, what a race that was. A quick look at the chat. Nothing too much happening. There it looks like, but what a race that was. Hopefully you all enjoyed that one. My voice is going a little bit squeaky now after that one, but yeah, I do hope you enjoyed. Next week we are in Mexico for the Mexican Grand Prix. Is it next week, or we got a week? I think we might have a week off next week. No, we don't. No week off. Ignore me. Oh no, I've not got my calendar up, unfortunately. I can't check that. That should probably be something I do. No, next week we have a week off. We do. Next week is a week off, and then we'll resume in 2 weeks' time for the Mexican GP. Yeah, the title is still well and truly alive. Can Passy do anything to stop the Harv train? It's going to be a difficult one, or anyone else get involved with it. Thank you for watching tonight, guys. My name is Ollie, and I've been your commentator this evening. Hopefully you enjoyed that. A bit of waffle, but when you're on your own, it's difficult not to. So hopefully you enjoyed that one. And we'll see you in 2 weeks' time for the Mexican GP, the third to last round in this championship. Hopefully we'll see you all then. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time.